Hey everyone, so today's video, we're gonna go to a few film location spots of the movie Goodfellas. This movie came out in 1990 and it was directed by Martin Scorsese. This movie is under the crime/drama movie. In this movie, the three stars are Ray Liotta as Henry Hill, Robert De Niro as James Conway, and last but not least, Joe Pesci as Tommy DeVito. So, some of you guys may or may not know this movie is based on a true story about Henry Hill, which is played by Ray Liotta. So, it's based on his life from when he was a kid all the way up to where he left the mob. So, we're going to go to a few film location spots in not only in Queens, but also Manhattan and Brooklyn. So, the first stop we're going to go to is 32nd Street, Astoria, Queens. So before we go to this spot, I'm pretty much going to let you guys know that when we go here, there's going to be multiple spots that were filmed on this block. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting. So let's get it. So as you guys see, we're at 32nd Street, Astoria, Queens. So this is where Henry Hill's home was being filmed at. So as you guys see from the picture, it looks a lot different. They pretty much colored the house much more nicer. Some of the doors are different. The windows is a little bit different, kind of the same, but not as much change. Just a little bit touches here and there. So when it was being made, they pretty much used multiple, I would say, borders to try to film it a certain way over the stairway. So as you see from the picture, it was a little bit different on how they set it up because a certain angles of how they wanted the light to be pointed at and etc. I have to say it was a really good film location spot for Henry Hill's home. I wouldn't change it for a bit. So some of you guys may be wondering, was Henry Hill's home filmed all at this location? I would say most of it. So the part of where the mother opened the door and saw Henry wear a suit, that was filmed right in front of the door. Then Henry looking out of the window, that was filmed upstairs. I think it was in the middle window if I'm correct. And then what didn't happen is the kitchen scene of where Henry's dad was beating Henry. That did not happen at this apartment building because I used to live at this apartment building a couple of months ago. So when I was living at this apartment building and I was watching the Goodfellas film, the apartment kitchen was really, really small. And in the film, it was much more space. So it did not film at that spot. And I also talked to the landlord. She is 94 years old. And she pretty much told me that she had this apartment building for years and years. So when they came to this apartment building, she said yes, that you can film outside the apartment building and only in one room. The reason why she said one room is that because she was renting out other spots for people that are renting out this place. So yeah. So now we're gonna go up the stairs and look the other way across the street from Henry's home. And this is where the mob hangout was. So if you look right over here, that building where the white car is and the garage is where the two buildings were filmed of the mob hangout. So this is where in the beginning of the scene of where Henry looked out of the window and saw the guys joking around in front of the mob hangout. What I have to say about this specific film location spot for this scene, which was, I would say, 30-second long, maybe 25, is that it was a really good scene because it was right across the street from Henry's home. He looked out of the window and saw that, he was mesmerized about the mob life. So some of you guys may be wondering what happened to the two buildings that were filmed here. So what the landlord told me is that it was demolished due to the owners wanted to sell it and move somewhere else. So that's why they ended up putting, the garage and the building right there. And yeah, I honestly wouldn't change it for a bit. And let's go pretty much down the street the other way, which is pretty much attached to this building right here. And we're going to explain another film location spot for this one. Alright, so we are right up the street, not even a couple of steps to front of this grocery store, which is Astoria Market. And pretty much this is where in the movie that Henry was parking all the cars, and also where they were selling the boxes from the truck. So as you see, it changed a lot. So before it was a parking lot, and now it's a condo resident. So this was pretty much a condo resident on right here it says 2014. So pretty much recently, like about almost 10 years ago, they changed it into a condo resident slash grocery store slash many other stuff in this building. I would have to say I wouldn't change this for a bit. I think it was a really good scene for when Henry is parking the car. Really perfect view from the angle of the camera. And also what's really good is that the part of where they were loading the boxes into the car and also off the truck was a really good scene as well. You couldn't really tell the difference from when the scene happened. You would think two different locations for those scenes. So, yeah, so now we're going to go across the street and I'm going to show you the other side. So this is where, as you guys saw in the movie, if you haven't seen the movie, go check it out. Is where they were loading the boxes into the car for when they were selling the boxes to many of the people. And as you see, a good amount of it changed. Not a whole lot, but I would say a good amount. So as you see, I think it's called awnings on the building, as well as in the middle of those two, I have the arrow pointing. It looks the same, exactly the same. But as you see upstairs, the window is a little bit different, as well as, the building is constructed a little bit, not a whole lot, but you can tell it looks pretty much the same as it did back in 1990. So not a lot of change. And I would say it's a really good film location spot for this angle in the film. So now we're going to go across the street to the other film location spot. Yes, right across that street right there that I was talking about. So let's get it. So now we are at Paulie's house. So this is where Henry and Paulie's whatchamacallit, right hand man came here to talk to Paulie face to face. Since pretty much Paulie did not like to talk on the phone, he wanted to do it face to face. Since, as you guys know from all the mafia stuff that we learned throughout the years, that the mob will always get caught through the phone. So Paulie always wanted to talk face to face so that he wouldn't get caught. I would have to say though, the film location spot for this is really, really good. I have to say I have no complaint about this. I wouldn't change it for a bit as well. I think the last few spots, as I showed you, was really, really good spots. Just by how simple, how it just went well with the movie. But yeah, so this, I'm not sure a whole lot about this apartment building. I was trying to ring their doorbell, but nobody answered. I wanted to ask more questions about it, but it is what it is. Now, what I'm going to show you is another film location spot right across the street. As you see right here is where the phone booth was put into the movie. And that's when Henry was talking to whoever that Paulie wanted to talk to through that phone booth. So some of you guys may be wondering, was the phone booth put there for props or was it built there for years and years and they ended up using it? Well, they were put there for props. It was not built there for the public. So just want to clarify that up. So the next film location spot we were at is pretty much right down the street from those few others that I just showed you before. And it is located at 23-83 31st Street. So this film location spot was where Paulie's crew abducted a mailman to pretty much tell him do not mail anything to Henry's house. So pretty much as you see right here, the building is no longer there. If you guys may or may not know, this building that was there before was actually a post office building. Very interesting. I honestly never knew that since I lived here most of my life, but it was very interesting that it was actually a post office building. So this building was pretty much there until 2018, and it's going to be soon a apartment complex building in the next couple of years. Now, would I ever change this film location spot in the movie? To be honest, no, I actually liked it. It went really well with the movie. So this next film location spot is pretty much right behind us of where we're just standing at, looking at the post office. So this is the La Bella Vista Pizza Parlor, which was filmed in that movie. This building was both used for interior and exterior of Paulie's Pizza Parlor. It was demolished sometime around 2012. So this film location spot was where one of the mob guys got shot, and he was walking towards the pizzeria place, and Henry came out to try and help him with the gunshot wound. So like I said before, this building was demolished in 2012. I was not sure why. I think it's because due to pretty much the owner wanted to move, so now it is a child care center. And I would not change this film location spot at all. The reason why is that it was very iconic in the movie. So right next to the building, this is where the guy walking to the building had the gunshot wound. It lasted about a few seconds in the movie, but I want to show you that was part of this scene in the movie. By the way, some of you may be wondering, was this school there before? To be honest, I am not completely sure. I maybe think it did. It may not. I couldn't really get that much information about the school. But yeah. So the next film location spot we are at is 37-24 24th Street. So this is where young Henry Hill gets arrested for the first time while selling cigarettes out of the trunk of a car to a group of guys. So as you guys see, this building is still here till this day. Nothing has changed. Maybe a little bit nicer in the windows. Not so much, but it pretty much looks the same as, back when the movie was made. A interesting fact about this building, by the way, is that it was opened in 1920 for the Franco Scalamandre Silk Company, and the building was converted into commercial loft space called the Silk. And when company departed in 2004, it was painted by Scamarte Skilks sign seen on the top of the building in Goodfellas that still remains today. So again, would I ever change this film location spot in the movie? To be honest, no. I think it went really well in this movie, as Martin Scorsese did a really good job at this film location spot. Alright, the next film location spot we were at is 22-1937 Avenue. So in the movie, this is where young Henry Hill runs from the lot, and Tuddy is shown waving him over from across the street. Now, for this building is pretty much newer to the old building that's currently home of M and B twin collisions. Now, would I ever change this film location spot? I said it could have made a little bit of a difference, but it's only a few seconds long in the movie. It's up to you guys what you think. I think it's fine. Maybe I'll change a little bit of it, but it only lasted a few seconds in the movie. Now, the next film location spot we're going to is right across the street from the warehouse, and this is the parking lot explosion. So this is where young Henry Hill torched the cars in the parking lot as he was running towards the camera as the vehicles were exploding. Now, as you see from the picture in the movie compared to now, I would say a little bit changed, not so much. The most that changed in this location spot was the building behind it. So as you see, those two buildings are completely new. Those are apartment complexes. Now, would I ever change this film location spot? To be honest, not really. I think it went really well in the movie. It was a 10 to 15 second clip, not even like a 5 second clip in the movie. So it was just a one hit go type shot. It wasn't really a long scene. I'll honestly would keep it, to be honest. Comment down below what you guys think, if you would have changed this spot or not. The next film location spot we were at is Airline Diner, which is located at 69-35 Astoria Boulevard North, East Elmhurst. So in the movie, this was where the now older Henry Hill comes into play, and he was standing there with Tommy DeVito, played by Joe Pesci, as they were truck hijacking in that film in the parking lot of Airline Diner in Astoria Heights. But now this diner is called Jackson Hole Diner. So as you guys see, this diner is still here till this day. A little stuff outside the diner is, a little bit different. Nothing really changed a whole lot. Now, some of you guys are going to be wondering, would you change this film location spot? To be honest, never in my life I would change this spot. I feel like this spot right here is one of the most iconic scenes in the movie. Yeah, it only lasted for 25 to 30 seconds, not even, but it just went really well with the movie, especially the introduction of older Henry Hill, I would say. Alright, I'm going to show you guys the inside of the diner. I'm not going to show you where everyone's eating and working because it's too rude, and the manager didn't really like the fact that I was filming. So I'm going to just show you the side of right before you're about to walk in, where all the pictures are at. That was pretty much showed of where Goodfellas was filmed. So as you see, we got the movie, we got the actor Ray Liotta, played by Henry Hill, and the real life Henry Hill on the right. Now we go down and we see many actors, actresses, the president was here. And as you can tell, these pictures were pretty much taken in the, I would say 1990s, early 2000s, before, we had iPhones. Now we go on the other side. We had autographed by the three characters of, Joe Pesci, Ray Liotta, and Robert De Niro. Now we go down and we see the shots that were filmed at this diner. Yeah, they filmed inside this diner as well. Just want to let you guys know that. And yeah, I really, really like this diner a lot, and I would most definitely recommend you guys, when you do come here, you're gonna love the food. Not only the food, but how well the staff works. And also, when you go inside the diner, you're gonna get that old feeling of, I would say, the 1970s, 1960s vibe, as many of the stuff in there are still there till this day. The next film location spot we're at is Goodfellas Diner, which is located at Maspeth Avenue in Maspeth, Queens. So this is where Henry Hill met Jimmy at the Sherwood Diner, which that is called in the movie, about, doing another hit, and also the news of Tommy that became a main man in the family. So as you see already, this diner was running for many years. Until June of 2018, it was damaged by a fire and it was boarded up since then. And we honestly are not sure when this diner will reopen. They kept saying it was going to be in 2023, but 2023 is about to be over. So we aren't sure. So it looks like they're going to be closed forever. I really hope they are not closed forever, because I would like to visit this diner soon and make another video to show the inside of it. As you see, a really interesting area of where this was filmed. So now, would I ever change this film location spot? To be honest, no. It was another iconic scene in the movie that I would keep automatically. So now I'm going to go across the street. I'm going to show you guys the before and now picture of this diner. And as you see right over here is the before and now. So yeah, pretty much a lot changed since then. And I really hope they reopen soon. So right before I was about to leave, I wanted to show you guys the inside of the diner. So as you see, it looks the same as it did in the movie. Nothing has changed. And yes, they filmed inside this diner, which is on the other side of this building. Now, for the part that Jimmy got the call about Tommy being whacked was right here. Yes, the phone booth was always there. It was not there for props. This film location spot we were at is Nurse Tavern, which is a bar located at 87-48 78th Street in Queens. So this is another famous Goodfellas film location spot, which is where many of the heist was talked about in this bar of when they celebrated to when they were pretty much trying to figure out how to do the heist. As we see to our left, that is a small sign talking about the Goodfellas film that was filmed at this bar inside and the whole background of it. So if you guys would like, you can pause the video and look at this sign. Pretty much it's over 100 years old, this bar. It's really amazing how it was filmed here. And I have to say I got the chills just by being at front of this building. Alright, so now we're gonna go inside the bar of one of the most famous scenes in the movies of Goodfellas. So let's get it. So as you guys see, this is where they film most of the scenes of where, like I said, the Lufthansa height was planned to where they celebrated and etc. So honestly, nothing has changed. It looks the same as it did in the movie. Honestly though, I would most definitely recommend you guys checking this place out, as many people throughout the world has came here to check out this bar because of the Goodfellas film. So now we're gonna look at the wall of many of the pictures of where Goodfellas was filmed. So you see the picture of where Jimmy got mad about the coat, of them purchasing all the money on stuff that they weren't supposed to. Then many different remakes of each scene. As you see, Robert De Niro played by Jimmy with that scene in the movie. And then we had many other pictures also, Jimmy and Henry Hill, and then autographed by the three main characters of the film, and many other pictures that's on this wall. And this right here is where one of the scenes that were pretty much filmed right in front of this door, where he walked out with his wife due to, the purchase that they weren't supposed to buy after the heist. Now we go on the other wall, and this is where, again, where the bar scene happened right behind us. And yeah, I have to say, it was really, really cool. I honestly could have stayed here all day if I wanted to, but, I was only there for a little while. Now, I'm going to show you guys pretty much the rest of the place. So as you walk over here, you have the other part of the scene in the movie. I'm going to have a couple of pictures up here. Not a whole lot, but pretty much it looks all the same as it did. And yeah, it was just really amazing how nothing has changed at this bar. I feel like they should always do this in a lot of places that are very iconic scenes in many movies. And now we're going to walk over here. So right there between those doors, you remember the conversations that they had in the movie of Henry and Jimmy and all that, what happened. Well, to be honest, it wasn't, where you thought it was located. So what they did for this scene is that they remade this scene in one of those private film areas in one of those buildings. And I think in New York or in LA, the look like that was filmed in this spot. Yes, I know, it's very shocking. I asked the manager and he said, yes, it was always been there, of that wall right behind those doors. So now, would I change this film location spot in the movie? To be honest, no. Like, it's not even close. I would leave it how it is. It's perfect. Now, the next film location spot we are at is in Brooklyn, and this is the address right down below. So this is where Karen gets a little bit of a weird feeling that she was about to get whacked by Jimmy. So she got spooked by it, and she pretty much escaped from that area to go back to Henry Hill. Now, as you see from the picture before and now, the visual, I would say a little bit has changed. Not a whole lot, but a little bit of it. Now, would I ever change this film location spot? Yes, because it could have been a little bit better, but it is what it is. And my apologies, my iPhone was about to die, so I couldn't record a whole lot. The last film location spot we're at is the New York County Supreme Court, which is located at 60 Century Street in Manhattan. So now we are in Manhattan. So this is where Henry Hill was pretty much being a rat by ratting out Jimmy and many other former members in the family. And yes, this was filmed in this New York State Supreme Court building. Yes, it was. But the reason why I'm only showing you outside this building instead of inside is because you have to have access to go inside. Since I'm just a citizen and I don't really have to go in there, there's really no way I can get in there unless I'm in trouble or I work for them. I'm guessing if I had to compare the movie scene to how it looks now, I think it would be a lot has changed in the building. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not really sure. Comment down below if you guys work in this Supreme Court or been in there, if it has changed from the movie to now. So now, would I change this film location spot? No. And yeah, guys, those were the many film location spots of the movie Goodfellas. I know many of you guys wanted me to, show you the other film location spots of this movie, but I'm gonna make a separate clip for those spots since they were located in not only in New Jersey, but as well as Long Island and some in upstate New York. And before I go, like always, comment down below if you guys would like me to do any other film location spots of your favorite TV shows or movies. And I'll see you guys next video. Peace.